Pantry, and today is November. Oh my gosh, it's the second one for me, and it's coming up late tonight because, well, I didn't have a chance to do it until tonight. So, as you see in the title, this is fresh herbed buttermilk biscuits. These are delicious. I'm using fresh rosemary out of the garden and some thyme leaves that I got in the grocery store. So we're going to strip those herbs first. And I really want a fair amount of the rosemary. It's what's going to stand out. And for the fall flavors, this biscuit is so good on if you have ham over the holidays. This makes a wonderful, wonderful ham and egg sandwich in the morning. Just delicious. Okay, that's good on the rosemary. And I'm just gonna, oof, it's very fragrant. I'm gonna chop it up pretty fine. You wanna get it, because it's gotta disperse through the dough. So I've got buttermilk, I've got all-purpose flour, baking powder, not baking soda, baking powder, and rosemary. You want at least a tablespoon of fresh rosemary. If you're going to use dry, you can use a little bit less, but I just think your fresh gives it more flavor, honestly, when it comes to any herb. So that's a healthy tablespoon of rosemary. And this is the little chef's knife from Rada. My link's down below if you're interested. I know a lot of you have been going over there, and I appreciate you. Thank you so much, and you're going to love your knives, so I feel really good about that. I don't back a product that I'm not in love with. You know? Okay, so get these thyme leaves stripped off. You guys, I'm going to bring you in close. There's no reason for you to watch that far away. Okay, hold on. Ooh, I may have to edit some of that out. Okay, so let's get you down there. All right, so I've got my thyme leaves. I'm getting stripped off of their stem. This isn't something that you can just throw in the pot like a pot of stew or soup or anything. You're going to have to get these leaves off of the stem. Sometimes stripping them backwards works, but sometimes just going straight forward works as well. And these stems are not extremely woody, so if they break, it's okay, it's fine enough. It still has the flavor. It's not rocket science, right? Okay, so I hope all of you guys have been enjoying the November videos. So every day except for Sunday for the month of November, 6 of us are doing this collaboration. And I've got a list of the ladies down below in the description box, so you can go to their channels and watch everybody's assigned a particular day. And last week everybody had technical difficulties, and this week I had company and could not do it. So okay, I've got my herbs all ready to go. I'm going to get rid of this paper towel. I don't need that right now. Now I'm going to get to the recipe. Super easy. It's an easy one. Oh, and I guess I should preheat my oven. So I want 2 cups of flour, all-purpose flour. All right. And I buy the organic stuff at Costco, so I'm about ready to fill my, this is a modular mate by Tupperware, so is this. It keeps it airtight, watertight, forever. So I'm about ready to put a new bag. This one will hold a 10-pound bag of flour, and that's what that organic flour comes in. So you're gonna need some baking powder. Make sure you got baking powder, not baking soda. I want a full, is this a teaspoon? Or this is half a tablespoon. I don't think I need quite that much. So we're going to get that sprinkled in there. And we need a little bit of salt. I want about a teaspoon of salt. And I'm going to cut, my fat is going to be a mixture of fats. And because the buttermilk also has fat, you've got that going on. So let's put this back over here. And it's really a eyeball recipe, to be really honest. Okay. You can change the amount of herbs. You can leave them out and then they won't be fresh herbed biscuits. But I really love the fall type herbs in a recipe this time of year. And especially when you're getting it with ham and turkey and all of that. So I'm kind of going to give this a quick little mix around with the Swedish dough hook, and I have that down below in my Amazon store. These are, I think it's invaluable to a kitchen. You need one in your kitchen. I'm just saying. So kind of get that pre-mixed. I'm going to grate some. This isn't Kerrygold. This is the Kirkland brand grass-fed butter. You cannot side by side tell the difference between Kerrygold. They're both grass-fed. Look how yellow. It's delicious. So if I'm going to eat butter in any amounts, it's going to be grass-fed. So I'm just going to grade down, about, look at that, about a quarter of a stick of butter. But when you grate it, look what you get. You get this. It's very lofty, delicious. Oh my gosh. This is going to be good. This is where I'm going to preheat the oven to 400 degrees in the convection oven. So it'll be ready to go. And I'll put the rest of this stick of butter back in the refrigerator. You want the butter cold, as well as the other fat, the buttermilk, and the other fat that I'm using is duck fat. What? Yes, duck fat. It's delicious. If I can get, there we go. If I can get the lid open. And I'm just going to give that a good, we want enough to flavor. So total, we're probably going to have a third of a cup of fat. We'll get that worked in, and I'm going to get my, I'm not going to use the Swedish dough hook for that. I'm going to use my pastry cutter. You can do it by hand, or you can do it, but I want that to stay pretty cold, or you can do it with a pastry cutter. This pastry cutter is so old. I've had this, I think I've had this since I was a bride years ago. So you're going to cut in your fat into the flour, and it takes a little bit. Oh, and it takes a little bit of a mess, but we're going to be using that that surface here to roll these biscuits out a little bit, so no worries. I've got a clean countertop, and we'll flour it down and get it worked in. So yeah, you're just going to get that mixed in. So you've got, if I don't feel like I've got enough fat worked in, I'll add some more duck fat. That duck fat is going to add such a great flavor, and I want the pieces to be, you know, a little on the small side. Duck fat, it doesn't hold its, it warms up pretty easily, so it's going to feel a little bit different, but you want it to feel a little mealy, so I'm going to add a little bit more and make a mess on the outside of the jar. We're going to add a little bit more duck fat, maybe another 2 tablespoons. How's that? Okay. Again, if you want to use lard, which that's my choice, but once you have duck fat biscuits, oh my gosh. Oh, you can use bacon grease. I want the herbs to really stand out and be complimented. And it is the holiday season, so go for the expensive stuff and the good stuff. Okay, that's much better. So I feel like I've got that. And then now we're gonna get in there. Whew, hold on. Okay, so now it's time for the buttermilk. Get your Swedish dough hook back out. You've got, Oh, it's gonna be so good. I'm super excited about these. And yeah, they're delicious. And you're gonna add buttermilk. I'm gonna start with about a half a cup, and we're just gonna go from there. We want a dough that we can actually, that'll pull together and that is wet and sticky, that I can get out onto the counter, but it pulls all the flour in. So until I get that, I'm not gonna add it to the counter. It's almost there. So we're gonna add another, no, quarter of a cup, looks like. See, it's kind of, you don't need much, because then you'll just have to add flour to this if you're not careful. And you're gonna have a floured surface, and then once it starts coming together, here, still need a little bit more. So probably ending up with a cup of buttermilk. It's a little thicker. There we go. See how it's starting to stick together as a cohesive biscuit. Delicious. And all the loose flour is coming up off the bottom. That's about where I want it. So I'm going to pull it off with the dough hook, and that's really the beauty of this hook. You know, for pancakes or any of these doughs, you use a regular balloon whisk, you're going to be fighting to get that out of there. So clean hands, and I'm going to flour. I'm going to flour the surface a little bit, and I'm going to flour my hands. And probably get rid of this buttermilk. All right. Put that back there. And grab me some flour. I'm going to flour the surface there. Flour the surface here. You know. And then in your hands. So, yeah. And it's really still very cold. I love it. It's cold. I don't know, it may not. Oh yeah. The dough is going to come together. And I don't like to work the biscuit dough too much because I don't want it tough. I just want it to pull together. And once it pulls together, and I can pick up everything in the bottom of this bowl, then I'm going to roll it out. Oh yeah, that's awesome. Okay. Okay, I think that's good. And because I kind of need, you know, that light folding kneading, I'm good to roll it out, and we'll get you cutting these out. Okay, so I need my rolling pin and a little more flour down over the top. And you really don't even need to roll these out too big or too thin, because they're going to rise for you. I have my parchment lined cookie sheet right here. So this usually makes about 8 biscuits, 6 to 8. Okay, I think that's good. This is a good, it's about a ½ an inch. Okay, and let's get us, I don't believe, hold on. We gotta grab our cutter, and I'm actually, you know what? I may, yeah. I may have hidden it from myself. I don't think I did, but hold on. We're gonna come right back. Okay, I did. I hid it from me. So I'm just gonna use a small mouth ring. These are perfect size. Pop that. Pull that. Okay, I got a nice little biscuit. I've got my parchment lined cookie sheet, and you could do these several ways. You could, yeah, I wish I knew where my cutter was. I'm gonna have to seek that out. I don't make biscuits very often because it's just me, and just me doesn't eat them. So I'm doing this for November because it's the holidays. Anyway, okay, so get these all cut out, and you could, like my girlfriend Jenny over at Jenny Goff, she rolls them out into a rectangle and she cuts them into squares, which I think is fantastic because then it makes an easy way to make a sandwich. These will be delicious breakfast sandwich biscuits too. So, okay. Yeah, these are going to give me plenty. This is going to give me about 10 biscuits. They're probably not going to be super lofty, tall. I mean, they're going to rise because of the baking powder, but let's see. Can you see? Can you see? Can you see? Okay, so we got one more there. That's 8. And we'll get that dough back together. And we'll give us probably one big. This one you kind of have to knead back into its shape. And we'll give it a big old. And then it's up to you whether you want to continue with the, I'm trying to, that cutter doesn't go all the way through, so. Okay, this one might actually rise up a little bit, and then we'll make one more. So there's some, these are the testers, right? But I think next time I make biscuits, I might make square biscuits just because I think that's such a good idea. Right? Okay. We've got 10 beautiful biscuits. How easy is that? Made in, oh, I don't know, 10 minutes. In the oven it goes. And we're off to the races. All right. Hey guys, these came out of the oven. They were in there exactly 16 minutes. You can put them up on 400 for longer or less time if you want. These are, oh, I'm so excited. The house smells like rosemary and thyme. So I'm gonna take my little Rada, This knife is my favorite, and split that biscuit open. If you had ham for the holidays, this is the deal. You need ham in this little deal. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab some Kerrygold butter, and yeah, I'm just gonna give it to you like, ooh, the taste test is gonna be just unadulterated, delicious. So they got nice and brown on both sides, just perfect. These would be perfect for biscuits and gravy as well. I would do a sausage sage gravy with these. That's what I normally do, because then you have the sauce or the sage and the rosemary and the thyme, and it's herby and delicious. It's wonderful. Or you could make little sausage patties and make a breakfast sandwich, or, you know, these can just go alongside your holiday dinner if you're having a ham. It is phenomenal. Okay, let's take a bite of this biscuit. Oh my God. Oh yeah. I'm sorry, the November angels just sang to me. That is delicious. So you could roll this thicker if you wanted a thicker biscuit. Oh, that's so good. You could roll this thicker and make it more like 8 or 10 biscuits. That's usually what I do, but I really wanted a few of these to share. So, and they're smaller portions, which is wonderful, but oh, that butter melts right in. Yum. I haven't had a really delicious biscuit in years. And these, I already picked on that one. you know, because they kind of come apart. They're kind of pull aparts. So if you want to see what else you can do with this actual biscuit dough recipe, leave me a comment in the comment section below, and I will share another holiday, absolutely delicious holiday treat using this same recipe. All right, guys, I can't wait to see you next time. Hold on. And I hope you try this. It's so delicious. And I want to share some more recipes using this particular recipe. All right. And it really is very forgiving. So don't get worried or scared that you can't do this. It's awesome. All right.